And now they are crucial voting blocks in next Tuesday's Ohio primary. And this morning, we're talking with representatives from each group. Michael Connery is author of Youth to Power and is a Barack Obama supporter. He's in New York to talk about young voters this morning. Tim Burga is the chief of staff of the Ohio chapter of the AFL-CIO. He is with us from Washington to talk about the blue-collar vote. And Patricia Murphy of Citizen Jane Politics joins us to talk about women voters. She is also in Washington. Thanks to the three of you for being with us this morning. Michael, I want to begin with you, if I could. February 25th opinion poll, this is from the University of Cincinnati, shows these results, if we can put them up on the screen for everybody to see, for young voters in specific. And those, that age group we're talking about is 18 to 29 years old. For Clinton, 49%. For Obama, 49%. Senator Obama has pretty much been the one to get overwhelming support from young voters up to this point. But you say, Michael, that Hillary is actually making inroads with a different age group, which is 25 to 29. Does that explain these close numbers in Ohio?
Well, without having seen the poll, I couldn't really say, but it's true that for the most part, Senator Obama has captured young voters, both age cohorts, but when Hillary Clinton has done well among young voters, it tends to be among certain sets, and that's the 25 to 29-year-olds, which helped her win in New Hampshire, and it's non-college and lower-income young voters, and her lead with those could be explaining that.
Yeah, why do you think she's resonating with them?
You know, I don't know. I think maybe people remember a better economic time during the Clinton years when they were growing up with their parents. It could be that they feel Senator Obama isn't speaking enough specifics about economic issues. It could be a number of reasons.
All right, well, Tim, when we're looking at the blue-collar workers, obviously a huge force in Ohio politics, and we could see that in all of the NAFTA and trade discussions that went on pretty much right out of the box last night in the debate. In fact, let's go ahead and listen for just a moment, and we'll get your comment.
We need to have a plan to fix NAFTA. I would immediately have a trade timeout.
We have to stop providing tax breaks for companies that are shipping jobs overseas and give those tax breaks to companies that are investing here in the United States of America.
So, Tim, you say that jobs and, of course, the economy are #1 in Ohio politics. Do you think the candidates are doing enough to address these issues?
Well, good morning, Heidi. Absolutely, jobs and the economy are the #1 issue in the state of Ohio. The good thing about this primary meaning something in Ohio is it has the candidates there talking about the issues that matter. And very encouraged that Senators Clinton and Obama both talked about putting real worker and environmental standards in place and trade laws once they're elected, and making sure that it's enforceable, and if not, if they're not satisfied, to opt out of these trade agreements. So for the first time in quite some time, the voters in the state of Ohio have connected the dots, and they have made the connection between unfair trade that sees Ohio jobs being sent to Mexico and ultimately over to China, far too many cases. They're making that connection that unfair trade is costing them their jobs. So very pleased with what we heard out of the debate last night.
Well, but when the Ohio voters actually connect all of those dots on this issue, where do they end up? In the camp of Hillary Clinton or Barack Obama?
Well, I mean, that's why we have elections, but certainly...
Come on.
Certainly, it's our job at the Ohio AFL-CIO to inform our members and working families across Ohio where the candidates stand on the issues that are most important. Trade is the #1 issue related to jobs and the economy. Very encouraging that the Democratic candidates, Senators Obama and Clinton, are talking very tough about standing up for America's workers and Ohio's workers. The most productive workforce in the world is the American worker, and the Ohio workforce is right there. On the other side, when you're looking at Senator McCain's record, he still seems to be standing with the old trade arguments. And in a recent comments that he made to the Des Moines Register, he's talking in glowing terms about the benefits to the American workforce of NAFTA. So we know in Ohio that that's not the case.
All right. Well, there is another voting block, or at least a portion of the demographics, if you will, that everyone seems to have been following from the get-go, and that is women. So, Patricia, I want to get this question to you. That same Ohio poll that we have been showing actually did break things down for female voters. If you take a look with me, Clinton got 52%, Obama 34%. You actually say Ohio women will be the deciders of the Ohio primary. Does that mean Hillary Clinton wins?
Well, if the election were to happen today, she would look really good. Right now, she is, as you said, polling very well among women. She has a 17-point lead in another poll that I saw. And also, she is focusing right now on the issue that is very important to women, which is the economy. 91% of women in Ohio said that they feel the economy is poor or not good. That is very bad news for women in Ohio. But Hillary Clinton is managing to connect with them on that issue in particular.
Okay, quickly, I want to ask all three of you the same question. So, Michael, I'll start with you. How energized is your group, the group that you talk about, which is the young voter at this point in the race?
They are incredibly energized, more so than at this time in previous elections. Rock the Vote released a poll just yesterday that showed that 80% of young people are paying attention. It measured the excitement level for the three major candidates. Barack Obama's supporters, it was up at 89%, Hillary Clinton 69%, McCain 51%. So young people across the board are really energized for this election.
They're getting out there. All right, that's good to hear. What about blue-collar workers? How energized are they, Tim?
Well, by Election Day, Heidi, this November, we'll have over 2 million registered voters that are part of organized labor and our affiliate programs. They are in desperate need for change. They see it and they want to be a part of it, and they want to be able to stand with a candidate that's going to stand for workers.
Okay, and Patricia, I think you may have already answered this question, but I'll ask you anyway. Okay. Women voters, very energized, yes?
Very energized, and they're crucial, again, to this election. They're the majority of Democratic voters in Ohio, and they've been the majority of voters across the states, and the pattern has emerged that if you win the women, you win the state in almost every election. And so if Hillary Clinton can hold on to this lead with women, she'll do better in Ohio than she has in some of the other states where she lost that women's vote and could not make up the difference among men.
All right, well, we will all be watching, of course, next week. To the three of you, thanks so much, Michael Connery, Patricia Murphy, and Tim Berga. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.